The Phoenix Method, Rebirth Strategies from Ancient Egypt and Buddhism. Welcome to a journey that spans millennia and continents, weaving together the mythic rebirth of the Egyptian sun, the quiet clarity of a Buddhist monk, the incisive questioning of a Greek philosopher, and the purposeful resolve of a Hindu warrior. Each chapter below offers a story, a lesson, and a practical way to bring those ancient insights into your everyday life. Before we dive in, keep an open mind, a curious heart, and a willingness to transform. Chapter 1, Rise from Ashes, the Pharaoh's Regeneration. In the scorching heart of ancient Egypt, the pharaoh would be interred in an ornately designed tomb, his body wrapped in linen and his story recorded in the Book of the Dead. Once buried, his soul crossed the afterlife's gates, guided by spells and offerings, and if victorious, the sun god Ra would grant him rebirth. Even as he rose from the cinder of his own funeral rites, the pharaoh embodied a profound truth. The end of one cycle is the beginning of another. This story carries a powerful insight for our modern lives. Just as the pharaoh's body was wrapped in layers that protected and promised renewal, we too must weave layers of intentional practice that safeguard our future. A habit that no longer serves you must be acknowledged as dead tissue and removed, allowing new growth to sprout. Whether you're freeing yourself from toxic relationships, breaking a bad study pattern, or quitting an unhealthy job, the ancient rite reminds us that shedding the old is not defeat. It's preparation for rebirth. Apply it today by conducting a Phoenix audit. In the mirror each morning, list 3 habits you no longer want. Write them on a piece of paper, fold it, and deposit it in the ashes box. At the end of each week, review the list. If a habit has persisted, examine why. If it's gone, celebrate. Use a new blank page to write the habit you want to adopt next and place it at the top of your Phoenix audit board. Conclusion today. Remember, the sun's rebirth is a ceremony of intentional release followed by purposeful stepping forward. Your rebirth starts with your willingness to untangle yourself from what no longer illuminates your path. Like, share, and subscribe if you found this empowering. Reflective question: what one habit from your past can you release today to clear space for something new? Chapter 2, The Buddha's Mirror, Seeing and Changing Yourself. In an ancient forest in Bodh Gaya, a young prince named Siddhartha sat beneath a bodhi tree in a meditative trance until the mind revealed its own emptiness. After 3 days, he stood, his eyes opened, and realized that the path to liberation lies not in external monuments but within. He called this realization emptiness, a mirror that reflects nothing beyond the ego, and stillness becomes the fertile soil for transformation. The Buddhist parable offers a clear lesson. By turning inward, by observing our thoughts without judgment, we can alter the thoughts that govern our actions. Mindfulness doesn't eliminate worry. It frees you from automatically reacting to anxiety. In practice, start each day by observing 5 breaths. Count them, feel the inhale, hold the pause, and release. Notice any thoughts that surface, label them as thinking, but allow them to drift like clouds. Imagine the mind as a clear pond. Thoughts appear as lily pads that you do not have to keep touching. Conclusion: like water flowing around a stone, maintain a calm mind that does not cling to the shape of every thought. Your thoughts will become more intentional, and actions will reflect this calm clarity. If you liked this path of inner reflection, please like, share, and subscribe. Reflective question: how often do you pause to observe rather than react to your thoughts? Chapter 3, Socrates' Mirror on the City Wall. Socrates, wandering beside the marble statues of Athens, would often break the silence with a question. When a city celebrated a new triumph, he would ask, "What is virtue? Who is truly wise?" His answers, not from the lecture hall but from the street, challenged citizens to examine their own definitions of success. This ancient dialogue reveals a key lesson for business leaders and personal growth. The only real measurement of progress comes from questioning the status quo. When you ask, "Why am I doing this?" instead of "Why do I have to do this?" you ignite true innovation. Apply it today by performing a Socratic audit on your biggest project. Ask, "What am I trying to achieve? Why is it important? Who benefits if I choose a different path?" Write the answers. If you find that doing is driven by external validation rather than intrinsic purpose, realign your goals. Conclusion: Socrates reminds us that the path to growth is paved with honest questioning, not blind obedience. Examine your motives and realign your strategies accordingly. If you can find a new perspective through questioning, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Reflective question: when was the last time you challenged your own assumptions about the best path forward? Chapter 4, Hindu Warrior, the Bhagavad Gita's call to action. Arjuna, the warrior prince, faced a battlefield where the field of fight was his own moral dilemma. He was torn. Should he fight his kin or accept a life of suffering when duty seemed to call for conflict? When the Bhagavad Gita's divine counsel arrived, it emphasized duty, dharma, over personal desire, urging Arjuna to act without attachment to outcome. The lesson for entrepreneurs and leaders lies in clarity of purpose. When you are faced with tough choices, remind yourself of your higher mission. Your mission does not revolve around profit, fame, or fear. It is about a purposeful contribution that you can no longer ignore. Concrete application: write your duty statement. It should be one sentence outlining the impact you intend to create. Refer to it when making decisions, especially when they conflict with short-term benefits. Let it guide you to act without attachment to the result and focus on what matters most. Conclusion: the warrior inside you learns that doing with purpose is nobler than waiting for reward. Act, let go of expected outcomes, and let your integrity decide. If you feel empowered by this ancient call to duty, like, share, and subscribe. Reflective question: what is your duty statement, and how can you follow it consistently in a modern setting? Chapter 5, The Golden Ratio, Geometry of Success. The ancient Greeks were fascinated with proportions. When the Parthenon rose from Athenian sand, its architects employed the golden ratio to create a space that was at once balanced and alive. The ratio 1.618 to 1 appears in shells, flowers, and even the very lines of the cosmos. The Greeks believed that mathematics revealed nature's hidden pattern. Aligning human creation with that pattern yields harmony. The insight here is the power of balance and design. In business, we must balance risk and innovation. In life, we must balance ambition and well-being. The golden ratio invites us to create a structure for our habits that is neither too tight nor too loose, but sits in resonance. To bring this into practice, draft a growth canvas. Place 3 columns: action, reflection, and balance. When you schedule daily tasks, allocate 1.618 hours to action and 1 hour to reflection. This method ensures you act decisively yet remain rooted in insight. Conclusion: as the Greeks engineered structures that mirrored cosmic order, you too can architect your life around balanced, purposeful design. Let the golden ratio serve as a compass guiding your choices. If this architectural metaphor resonated, like, share, and subscribe. Reflective question: what area of your life needs the most balanced design right now? Philosophy spotlights Stoicism, discipline, resilience, clarity of mind. Stoicism, a philosophy that blossomed in the Hellenistic age, teaches that we cannot control the world, but we can master our inner responses. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, penned a chronicle of self-discipline that remains a compass for modern seekers. He often reminded himself that the obstacle on the path becomes the path. By reframing challenges as opportunities, he maintained calm, resolve, and focus even amid war. 3 key lessons from Stoicism for today's success. 1. Focus on what you can control: your actions, emotions, and beliefs. External events, market volatility, family crises, are beyond your power. Accept them as they are, redirect your energy toward responses that align with your values. 2. Practice premeditation, premeditatio malorum. Anticipate obstacles before they arise. If you foresee a stressful meeting, envision how you will stay composed and bring value. Preparation reduces shock and transforms uncertainty into opportunity. 3. Cultivate a resilient mindset. Every setback is a chance to test and strengthen your character. Marcus Aurelius counted each adversity as a stone that would help build the fortress of your inner self. How to weave Stoicism into daily life. Start each morning by writing a brief Stoic journal. Note your intended reactions for the day's challenges. At night, review what you controlled and what you did not. Adjust your focus accordingly. Linking this philosophy back to the script. Each chapter's story, whether it's a pharaoh rising from ashes, a monk turning inward, a philosopher questioning conventions, a warrior embracing duty, or an architect designing balance, shares a Stoic core. The ability to let go of what cannot be controlled, to question without attachment, to pursue duty, and to maintain balance is the heart of disciplined resilience. If you feel inspired by Stoic insight, please like, share, and subscribe. Reflective question: which Stoic principle resonates most with your current struggles, and how will you apply it tomorrow? Thank you for following the Phoenix Method. Remember, every rebirth begins with a choice to step from the ashes and embrace a new way of living. Keep like, share, and subscribe for more journeys through timeless wisdom and modern action.